Alright, so now that we have created our grid and we've created some topics, let's talk about how we are going to share those things out with our class. So I'm on my grids tab here. I'm going to come down to the grid that I created last time, and I'm also going to click into this topic. So now that I'm here, I can actually share this out with students to do responses, and the easiest way to do that is to click this blue button right here that says share topic. And we saw this screen before to share this. There's a couple of ways that we can do this. First of all is to give this code out. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to bring it up as a student. So I'm in student mode now. I'm going to go back to flipgrid.com, and if I went into my Google Classroom, if I emailed that out, that kid is going to take that code and they're going to paste it in here, and then they can click visit grid. Don't have to log in or anything like that. It's going to take them right in. So that's the first way that a student can get to your Flipgrid topic. The next way is we'll click on share topic, and then we will come in here where it says topic link, and this way the student will not even have to go to the Flipgrid website. They will simply go open their browser, they can paste that URL in, and so they don't have to go Flipgrid, they can go directly here this way. So those are the two quickest ways to get your class to start using Flipgrid. There are a few other options. If you go to share topic, you can share this out with Facebook, you can use Twitter, and you can also connect it with your Google Classroom. You can share a QR code if students know how to scan those, or if you have a way to do that in your classroom, and then you can embed it into your website. If you have a classroom website and you want to embed it, you can embed it in that way. So those are all the different ways that you can share your topic with your students. So now we're going to show you how you will actually get your students using Flipgrid. So I am a student, and I'm going to paste in the URL that my teacher gave me. It's going to take me to the Flipgrid page, and at this point, the student, to add their video, will just click the green button here, the big round green button. When there are responses, there'll be a big list of big pile of video thumbnails here that you can click and watch. But since this is the first video, you won't see it yet. So your student will just click the plus button, and we've seen this before. This is the video recording page that we saw when we recorded our own video. Student will do the same thing. They have a couple of options here. They can record or they can upload a video. One thing that it might be a good idea to share with your students is the sticky. So this is a place where a student can take some notes before they start recording. So that might be a good idea to have that. So I'm going to back up out of here. And assuming that I am a brand new student, I'm looking at this the first time, first thing I might do is click on this video and play it.
Hey everybody, it's Mr. Howard, and today we're talking formative assessments. I want to know, what are some things you can do with Flipgrid to formatively assess your students?
Alright, so I got the idea. Now I'm going to go record my response. I'm going to hit my record button. Flipgrid would be really great for formative assessments because you could do it right at the end of a unit. Just have your grid and your topic ready to go, and as soon as you finish your instruction, you send it out to your kids, and they can share all the important things that they learned during that lesson. Alright, so I recorded my response as a student, so now I'm going to hit the next button. And I get to review my understanding of it, that I if I need to go back and record, I can hit the trash can, but I like it, so I'm going to hit the green button. And just like the teacher did, you get to take a swaggy pic if you're a student. Okay, and I'm going to hit next. Now the student needs to put their information in. Now, most of this stuff is optional, but you'll notice the things that aren't are the first name and last name. So you'll want to know who your students are. Then it's up to you if they need to fill in any of this other information. But I'm going to go ahead and click Submit Video. And now that student's video is on here. So now your student is finished. They have done their assignment. They have recorded their response. Let's say I'm a different student and I come in here and I see that this student has already recorded. I can go in and I can watch theirs, I can tell them if I liked it. You have all these options to click. They can see the amount of views down here unless you turn that off. Since I left the share options on, I can come up here and I can share this out with the URL. I can put it in the classroom. So students can share these with their parents at home if they want, or they can share other ones that are in the same discussion grid. So eventually the idea is that you have your students in here discussing, responding to each other, responding to your initial prompt, and you're creating a platform where these wonderful classroom discussions are happening. Now let's talk about how you can control and monitor this as the classroom teacher. I'm now back on my Flipgrid account. I'm going to click over here where it says Dashboard. So on your dashboard, you'll have some basics that you can kind of look over. The first is you can see some of your stats. Down here you can see your activity, so I know that recent grid has got a little bit of activity going on it right now. I can see the views, all those kind of things. If you go to where it says recent unviewed videos, you can come in here and see teachers that have recorded responses or students that have recorded responses to the things that you've done in your class. And then you have achievements, and these are just some things you can earn from using Flipgrid. I won't get too much in depth there. But as a teacher, you're going to want to go in and view and facilitate the discussions that your students are having. So we're going to click up here where it says My Grids. And here is the grid that I have been working with. And I'm just going to come and click on to this topic inside of that grid. And this will be where all of your videos are recorded. Right now, we only have the one that I've recorded, so I'm going to click on it. And as a teacher, I can now watch this video, but there's a lot of other things I can do as well. I can make this video hidden if it's inappropriate. I can come in here and I can edit this response, meaning I can come in and change the stuff that the student put in. I can move it somewhere else. I can make a copy of it. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it based on your power as a teacher. I also like the feature button up here. This kind of will pin it up to the top and highlight it so students can see it better. Here's a link to view as a student. So if I want to send out an especially good response, I can do that there. Earlier I talked about the transcript function. So this is the transcript. You can see it's not perfect, but some of the words are right. So I guess that's got that going for it. Up here across the top, you'll see feedback. This is where you can basically grade your students on performance and ideas or other custom ones. If you have included those, you can also type them up a little bit of feedback, and then you can send that back to them directly from the Flipgrid topic. In here, you can see replies. So you can come in here and reply as the teacher as part of that discussion. You can also see other students who have replied. And then the last option up here is to share. So you can generate a private link. And this is good if you want to send this to parents. So this will be a static link that will only work as long as it's here. If you regenerate that link, it'll create a new one. So you can always go back in and destroy an old link if it gets into somebody's hands that they shouldn't see it. But the private link's a good idea if you want to share it outside of your classroom. If you want to share this grid topic with students, you have the option here, and you have the same ones that we discussed before. You also have the Google Classroom, Twitter, and Facebook options if you want to share it publicly or in your Google Classroom. So those are all the things you can do as a teacher once the recording has been created by the student themselves. In the next episode, we will talk more about the dashboard and Flipgrid classroom connections.